I would consider myself a completionist when it comes to games. I like to hunt down every last boss in Souls games, grind each game style and find every collectible in the Kirby franchise and, of course, complete the Pokedex. But it wasn't until recently that I pondered just how far the definition of 100% completion of a game could be stretched. For some people, it is simply enough when the credits roll and the main bad guy is defeated. Everything else, the hours upon hours of extra content packed into RPGs, or the time black hole that is the Pokedex, stands as a garnish, a nice to have, but never a requirement. I have to say that I am not obsessive about this notion. Sometimes, reaching that 100% completion is just made needlessly frustrating. I welcome a challenge, but grinding hours upon hours for a rare drop, boring side quests, or weird game modes that have nothing to do with the standard experience of the game simply don't vibe with me. You want to know what I am obsessive about? You want to know what makes me stop everything that I'm doing and gets my heart racing? This sound. If just hearing that sound made your heart skip a bit, then I know you know what I'm talking about. So let me welcome you to Rebel Culture, where today we will talk about every Pokemon trainer's dream, a shiny dex. If you enjoy this content on Pokemon, you should subscribe since we have tons of content on the franchise. But now, let's get to it. For the two out there who have never experienced the thrill of finding a shiny Pokemon, let me explain. Shiny Pokemon are Pokemon with a different color scheme that can be found in the wild and caught by the lucky trainers that might encounter them. Otherwise, these Pokemons don't present any competitive edge at all. They are not stronger nor faster. They don't have special moves or a new typing combination. They are simply a different color, and they sparkle when in battle. On our sister channel, Rebel Economics, we made a video about why these shiny critters are considered some of the most valuable collectibles in the Pokémon series of games, that I recommend you to watch right after this one. But essentially, all you need to know is that there is a world of difference between this guy and this guy. The first one gets ignored by my brain as the equivalent of visual noise, but the second one will have my palms sweating all over the controller. Why, you might ask, is this the case? Well, this shiny Pokemon can only spawn at a base ratio of 1 in 4096 as of Scarlet and Violet release. This means that you will have to encounter over 4000 regular Mons until you find the shiny one. There are, of course, methods to increase the probability of finding these glowing Pokemons, such as the Shiny Charm, which increases this chance in the most recent games to slightly over 1 in 1365. This can also be further raised through various methods depending on the game, like defeating a number of Pokemon in a mass outbreak. Nonetheless, the spawning conditions for shiny Pokemon remain complex, and the odds are very much not in your favor. With the advent of open zone and open world Pokemon games like Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, where players can see the shiny Pokemon with their different sprite in the wild, this process has been made more approachable, since trainers don't have to actually encounter a Pokemon in battle to see if it's shiny, significantly reducing the process of hunting for these precious collectibles. The reduction in the utterly tedious process of catching Pokemon has exploded to popularity as streamers that seek to complete an entire Pokedex's worth of the differently colored pocket monsters. To be clear, there have always been madmen that tried this in previous generations, where each encounter required them to wander through the tall grass, sit through entry animations, and pray to mighty Arceus that the Pokemon that spawned was actually shiny. But I believe it has never been as popular as it is today, with streamers and YouTubers rushing to develop the most efficient ways to encounter the shiny Pokemon they require to create one of the most exclusive collections in all of gaming. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button and subscribe, it really helps a young channel like ours. So thank you. But now, let's get back to the video. The race to complete a shiny dex is a fascinating thing to see, from an audience perspective as the players develop ever smarter ways of spawning that shiny Pokemon. From mapping out routes to optimize spawn rate, to exploiting the Switch's inner clock to trigger new mass outbreaks, to becoming an expert in sandwich making. Really, these streams are like 20% the cooking channel. But it is always really wholesome and just fun to see the reactions as they find the objective Pokemon, be them their first one or the final one to complete the shiny dex. I have even tried to do this myself. Obviously, I am nowhere close to it, but in Legends Arceus and Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, I have spent a strong 90% of my time just shiny hunting. The main story with its gyms, noble Pokémon, trainers and the like is just the beginning of the journey for me. However, there is a breed of trainer that ventures even further into the realm of completionists. One that gazes at the smiling faces of trainers with a shiny dex and says, "Hold my potion." There is an even more complex and time-consuming definition of 100%. Even one challenge beyond the Mount Everest that is the shiny dex. An achievement only truly accomplished by the most dedicated and the most insane of players. A shiny living dex. While a shiny dex is already a tremendous ordeal to achieve, it really only requires the trainer to catch each Pokémon of an evolutionary line as a shiny once, meaning that if you hatch a shiny Charmander and evolve it all the way to the majestic black Charizard, you can mark the entire evolution line as completing your shiny dex. But a living shiny dex makes no such concessions. To complete a living shiny dex, each step in a Pokémon's evolutionary line must be caught and kept in their shiny form. Meaning that instead of one yellow Charmander evolving into black Charizard counting as 3 Pokémon, it will only count as 1, Charizard. In order to say that you have a shiny dex, you will need one of each in their shiny form, meaning Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. The amount of time required to do so obviously increases exponentially, since now this process takes much more effort and luck, to be honest. That is why trainers that manage to come close to a living shiny dex without hacking are considered legends. I will never forget the first time that I saw a shiny Pokémon. It was during a playthrough of Fire Red, and it was a beautiful golden onyx. I was young and I didn't fully understand what it was, but I realized that it was precious, so I caught it and decided to bring it with me during my playthrough. This onyx was, to be honest, nothing special, at least not competitively speaking. And it got defeated more than a few times, and well, if it were any other normal Pokémon I might have left it to rot in a PC box, I endured with him and even appears in the Hall of Fame of that save file. Shiny Pokémon are a mystery. They can make the most mundane Pokémon seem special, and they really enhance the connection with the player. And while I don't think I will ever be able to shiny hunt an entire Pokédex, I will always look for the next game in the series where I can send my shiny Onyx and continue exploring together. Thank you for watching Rebel Culture. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. If you like Pokemon content, we have so many that you might enjoy, so check out our channel or click one on your screen right now. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.